Last week, I found a crumpled drawing in my 8-year-old daughter's backpack. It wasn't unusual for her to bring home doodles from school, but something about this one made me stop in my tracks. It was a picture of our family, me, my husband, and her. We were holding hands, but the detail that gutted me was the tears she'd drawn streaming down her face. Above us, she'd written in shaky letters, "Why can't we just be happy?" I don't know when I started tolerating the things I once promised myself I never would. My husband, Ethan, was once my world, funny, charming, and full of dreams. But over the years, his temper became the shadow we couldn't escape. The yelling, the slamming doors, the way my daughter's footsteps grew quieter every time he walked into a room. I told myself it wasn't that bad. I told myself it was just stress. But seeing my daughter's pain laid out so plainly, her sadness immortalized in colored pencils, was like a slap in the face. I couldn't unsee it. I couldn't deny that her normal was something no child should endure. That night I stayed up after Ethan went to bed, sitting in the dark and holding her drawing. I thought about the life I wanted for her, for me. A life where she didn't have to tiptoe or flinch. A life where she could laugh freely and feel safe in her own home. I made the hardest decision of my life the next morning. I called a domestic violence hotline. The woman on the other end listened without judgment as I stumbled through my story, my voice shaking. She gave me resources, plans, and most importantly, hope. The next 48 hours were a whirlwind. With the help of a local shelter and a kind neighbor who'd always known more than I admitted, my daughter and I packed what we could and left. I can't describe the mix of terror and relief I felt driving away from that house. My heart broke knowing how Ethan would react when he realized we were gone, but for the first time in years, I felt free. It's been a week now. My daughter laughed yesterday, really laughed. She told me her new room at the shelter feels like an adventure, and while I know we have a long road ahead, her words gave me strength. I'm sharing this because if even one person out there is feeling trapped, I want you to know. There's a way out. It's scary. It's messy. But you are stronger than you think, and there are people who want to help. And to the woman who answered my call that morning, thank you. You didn't just save me. You saved my daughter.